Thank you. My name is Frank Zeppenfeld. I am part of the Satellite Communications Group in the European Space Agency. This talk is split in two parts. We will say a few things about activities we are initiating in the area of 5G and satellite communications, and then Thomas Schlichter from Fraunhofer will tell us a few things about adaptations of the protocol stack of OpenAirInterface to allow satellite communications. Some background on us: we are a group of about 100 people located in the UK and in the Netherlands, and our daily work is actually to initiate, finance, co-finance, and technically manage activities that innovate satellite communications, and we do that for European and Canadian companies. Since a number of years, we have been supporting, together with the satellite industry, that satellite is now properly, let's say, included in the 3GPP discussions and ecosystem. You will probably know that there are now various study and work items in release 17 ongoing that address non-terrestrial networks, or NTN, which are satellites or high altitude platforms, for example. We have initiated now a work plan that supports the development of critical elements of 5G over satellite, and we would like to show them to you and explain a number of activities. It is important to say that we will be discussing in this talk activities that we are initiating. We also have a number of activities which are proposed by industry, activities we co-finance, but we will not talk about that in this talk. We see the use of satellite in the 5G ecosystem in various manners. It is possible to use the satellite, for example, as a direct access mechanism. So the UE is talking new radio over the satellite straight to the G node B. Another option is to use the satellite to backhaul the data from the G node B in some maybe very remote location. That of course does not need new radio over the satellite, but still would need maybe some specific adaptations. This is a very simple view of the various architectures that could materialize. You can imagine that depending on the topology, different architectures could be more beneficial depending on the orbit you use. Maybe you use specific frequencies. We could use satellites which are transparent, or maybe you have some intelligence on the satellite. Nevertheless, we think that a large number of these architectures will anyway need a non-terrestrial network adapted protocol stack. And we will need that for experimentation. And we have initiated a number of activities to support that. Would like to run through a number of activities. We are currently supporting the implementation of some pre-standard OpenAirInterface non-terrestrial developments. Thomas will say more about that. We are initiating a roadmap questioning also various industries, and that is happening also with support of Fraunhofer. We would like to know where we could contribute best in the whole OpenAirInterface development. We will be kicking off in about a month and a half larger activities that will implement the non-terrestrial network adaptations for all RAN protocol layers, likely based on OpenAirInterface. And we will also likely look at one specific architecture, in this case, a geostationary satellite. We also would like to implement the so-called non-3GPP interworking function, the N3 interworking function, because there will always be satellite networks which will not be 5G compliant or use the 5G standard. And we would still like to show integration of those satellite networks in the core network. We are also preparing a number of tests to show some initial developments of OpenAirInterface really over the air. At the same time, we're also refining channel models and terrestrial satellite link emulators so that we can show seamless handover between terrestrial and satellite network, still using on both links the 5G new radio air interface. We will be initiating soon a platform to allow experimentation over the air, where we would like incrementally to show the various outcomes of our initiatives. A bit later, this part, which is a bit more yellowish, we will implement the new radio non-terrestrial stack in VHDL to allow FPGA implementations. We will work on antennas supporting satellite and new radio frequency ranges, simultaneous reception, and we will also launch a small satellite with a G node B in space. Would like to conclude with our general interest in the OpenAirInterface. We would be very interested in a stable development branch that allows experimentation. We would be very interested to discuss a more, let's say, structured manner to how we could support the satellite-related features for OpenAirInterface. This roadmap that we're starting is a beginning of that. We are really looking forward to see some pre-standard OpenAirInterface non-terrestrial network adaptations over the air with a real satellite. That will take, let's say, another 2 months probably. We're also quite interested to see what we could contribute to any core network initiative. And further, we would like also to contribute or see what we can reuse from the various ORAN developments. And finally, we're also still interested in, let's say, the narrowband IoT adaptations for satellite. This concludes what we want to say. I will giving over to Thomas. Thank you very much.